Kirby's Epic Yarn, a game featuring Kirby himself as just a strand of yarn. Well, that's not how it originally started. In development, the game was supposed to start a new franchise for Nintendo. The main character was supposed to be Prince Fluff. The gameplay was very similar in beta or alpha to what you would see here. However, Nintendo made a few late changes. Basically, they pushed the original character, who was supposed to be Prince Fluff, instead of Kirby to the sidekick role, and made Kirby the main character of the game. Nintendo was concerned about how the game would sell, and, well, you can see why that might have affected their decision. So, is putting a recognizable character in a game going to make a game good, or make a game any better than it might have been? Well, let's find out. It certainly would make it sell more, I suppose, but would it make it better? Kirby's Epic Yarn is out to answer that question. Let's find out in this review of Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Nintendo Wii home console. Kirby's Epic Yarn starts out in the normal Kirby universe when suddenly Kirby is attacked by the evil sorcerer Yin Yarn. He is turned into a piece of yarn and ends up in the mystical Patchland. Patchland, of course, is made out of and stitched together completely out of yarn. And yeah, Kirby fits into that well since he was turned into yarn by Yin Yarn. I'm saying yarn a lot. Yarn. Kirby's Epic Yarn. Whatever. Anyway, he meets Prince Fluff, who embark on their journey together to save Patchland, since Patchland has become unstitched by the evil Yin Yarn. It's a Kirby game. Were you really expecting something big when it comes to the story? Anyway, it's a cute story, and I can get behind it, definitely, if the gameplay and graphics are good. And, well, are they? Kirby's Epic Yarn is a 2D platformer, but the similarities to the rest of the Kirby series are right there. In this game, Kirby has his trademark copy ability taken away from him when he turns into yarn. Instead, the gameplay mechanic, or gimmick here, is that how Kirby is supposed to use his yarn as an attack. He can turn into a car, a whip, or even a tank. Yeah, a tank. They went there. Anyways, he has to utilize his body as an attack to beat his enemies and save the day. It is certainly an interesting direction for the series. It's very similar to games like Kirby Mass Attack or Canvas Curse in the sense that it doesn't just follow the old Kirby platforming style. But when I hear all the complaints or praise for this game, there's always one thing I hear. You can't die. In Kirby's Epic Yarn, you literally cannot die. You are basically immortal. Basically, your only punishment for quote-unquote dying on a level is losing a few beads, which is the game's currency. It's needed for 100%, but it's really not that necessary, I guess, if you're just looking to speedrun the game. The lack of difficulty was always something I saw mentioned in reviews or opinions on the game when it came out. Was it something that affected my enjoyment of the game? Believe it or not, I really can't say it did. Kirby's Epic Yarn is not supposed to be a game that's supposed to be excruciatingly difficult like Dark Souls or Super Meat Boy. Nor is it really supposed to be difficult at all. With its atmosphere, calming music, and beautiful design and graphics, it's really not supposed to be a challenge. If you're a hardcore gamer looking for a really big challenge, Kirby's Epic Yarn isn't for you. It's just supposed to be a fun and peaceful video gaming experience. I also think that the design, graphics, and gameplay really make up for the lack of difficulty, in my opinion. The design in this game made me go, aww, every time. One thing about Epic Yarn's design is that it's so happy and uplifting. If you are sad while playing this game, something's seriously wrong with you, and you need to see a doctor right away. They use bright colors to make the game look beautiful on the Wii. It has such a charm to it that I can't really explain. It is a colorful, creative, and intuitive for a 2D platformer, especially in a time where a lot of 2D platformers, in my opinion, are getting a little stale, just due to the age of 2D platformers. Each level feels different and distinct, with different music, different enemies, and different enemies that need to be utilized, so of course the level design is solid. Its art style is beautiful as well. Rather than the art style just being creative and different, it fits the game's happy and joyous atmosphere. The design of Epic Yarn is top-notch and easily one of the best parts of the game. Of course, the Wii is not necessarily an HD 1080p system with its graphics, but the game still looks great. It overcomes the lack of great hardware and delivers a beautiful looking game. I would go as far as to say that it may just be the best looking game on the Wii. As I have said previously, the yarn and stitched together look of the game is extremely creative, and the choice of color is awesome as well. The graphics fit what Kirby's Epic Yarn is supposed to be, a calm and peaceful gaming experience. With its bright colors, creative look, and beautiful level and character design, the graphics make Kirby's Epic Yarn one of the best looking games on the Nintendo Wii. To be honest, The music in Epic Yarn isn't really that great, but there's one thing the music does great that, well, I guess separates it from other video game music. It fits the game perfectly. If the music from Epic Yarn was really in any other game, I really don't think I would remember it. But the music in Epic Yarn fits the environment and feel of Epic Yarn, which is the one thing we want video game music to do. Sure, it's not really a huge orchestral piece done by a 24-man orchestra, but overall, it does what it does and does it perfectly. Not every video game has to have the greatest soundtrack in the world for the soundtrack really to be good. Sometimes it just has to fit the game, and that's really what happens in Kirby's Epic Yarn. Overall, Kirby's Epic Yarn is a game that more casual players will like. If you're a hardcore gamer really looking for a challenge, you're not going to get it here, let's be honest. But if you're just a gamer who's looking for a fun and very enjoyable experience, I recommend Kirby's Epic Yarn for you. Go get it, it's cheap guys, come on. Kirby's Epic Yarn is a pretty awesome game, and although it is a spin-off, I guess, of the Kirby series, its gameplay is pretty damn awesome in my opinion, and it's a very creative and intuitive experience for the Kirby series. It's a breath of fresh air, I guess you could say. I'm going to give Kirby's Epic Yarn a 9 out of 10. I'm FargoGaming, and I will see you guys in my next review, or my next Let's Play, or whatever. Just really quickly, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to FargoGaming for more reviews, Let's Plays, and Fargo opinions. Just stay tuned with the news, and subscribe, rate, comment, do whatever you think is necessary. So I'll see you guys later. FargoGaming, signing out.